Hi, and welcome to our show today. Al couldn't be with us. Our guests today are 4 out of the 5 staff members of Milford TV. We'll start with Rob O'Keefe, the director. Rob, you're wrapping up your 3rd year of on-air programming, about to start the 4th. Tell us what's going on.
A lot of things have been going on, and I'm really happy with the progress that we've made in our 3 years since we opened our doors here. I signed on in August of 2012 when we had just myself as an employee.
And I remember the studio we're shooting in nothing was here.
That's right, and actually that's a great segue into how we built our membership here, and you were one of the first people that, because you were one of the first people to interview me for the town crier, but you had started talking about developing your own show here, and you know, I don't always think that people understand how much work goes into a TV show, and so you know, sometimes people will have that idea of, I want to make a TV show, and we try to make it as easy for them as possible, but sometimes it doesn't always come to fruition. And with your show, more than happy to see how you've flourished and made many episodes so far and stuck with it, and now it's ingrained into the schedule of Milford TV, and you have many
Along with Al
viewers.
Crier, I think, were the 2
Yeah.
stalwarts.
Well, Al was already there. You know, he was the anchor that we built the rest of the shows off of, and you know, thankfully Al had the one show that people were watching on television.
And now he has 3.
Yes, but his show, when it was still at the Comcast center, where, not the Comcast center, but the Comcast the station that we took over for, you know, there wasn't as many programming, local programming as we have now. So it's nice to see the progression and people getting involved.
17 locally produced shows?
Roughly, yeah. Right now there's about 15 or so locally produced shows, meaning that residents from Milford have come in, learned how to use the equipment, learned how to edit their own shows, and have their shows on the air. And that's outstanding for the first 3 years of us being in existence. Okay. I came from a larger city in Marlborough, where I worked for 7 years, and I never saw that many residents get involved in shows. So Milford is a special place because the community is so tight-knit, and people get involved and spread the word very quickly. So we were able to get our feet on the ground very quickly.
And then we're not talking about the shows that you yourselves produce here,
right,
with the staff. Why don't you introduce your staff? And
Sure. So actually, before I had any staff members, one of the first people I interviewed was Daniel Harlow, and Daniel has some extensive experience throughout the TV industry in the local areas. He's worked WBZ and at a couple other public access centers, so I knew right away that he would fit in well. Liz is not here right now. She is
Liz
sick.
Harkins.
Liz Harkins is sick right now, but Liz is another integral part of what we do here. She takes care of all of our members, and
The face that everybody sees when they come through the door.
that's right.
That's
So
important.
if any residents are interested in creating their own program, they go through Liz first, or Matt. Matt Winsky is our production assistant, but he primarily works alongside Liz. So now that we have 2 of them here, I just recently hired Matt. Now we can have a little bit more time to keep the studio open at night and on the weekends.
And Tim is the guy born
Tim,
with a
I always forget
sportscaster's
about
voice.
Tim. I mean, he's very forgettable. No, but Tim
Has that sportcaster voice that
That's
you're used to
right.
hearing
Yep.
on network TV.
Tim is one of the most professional people I've ever worked with, and if you've heard him at all in the Legion games or the basketball games or the football games that we produce, you know it right away. You hear that voice, and you know it's Tim. So we couldn't do half of the stuff we do here without Tim. The news alone that he produces and edits on his own. I mean, the rest of us as a staff will go out and collect stories and throw them at Tim, and then he'll put it all together every weekend for the Milford Informer, which is our community news show. And he does it every week, and every week we have a new episode, and he's been doing that since, what do we have, 80 shows now? Or
We're coming up on 100, actually.
We're coming up on 100.
We're about to shoot 93 this week, so.
Well, I know this is our 40th episode of 30 Minutes, so
yeah, so
time flies when you're having fun.
And it's a lot of shows, but really we're just getting off the ground. We still have a lot of work to do in buying equipment and creating some new programming. But so far, I think we're doing well getting the word out throughout the community.
What strikes me whenever I come in the doors here is you guys are like a family. Everybody seems to get along with each other. And I think that spirit goes over to the interns and the people working the cameras, the control booth. It just seems like a really nice place to be at.
Well, I think if I can jump in with a response, I think that a lot of that is due to the kind of situation here that Rob has fostered. He's not sort of your typical employer where everybody comes in and punches the clock and everything is formal, and it's a much more lighthearted atmosphere around here. And I think that's not to put words in your mouth, Rob, but I think that's probably what you set out for. No, but I mean,
what Tim's trying to say is I'm a mess. They get away with a lot, so they like it.
Well, I do like the fact that on your business card you also have the title of Cat Wrangler, which sort of sums it up, trying to get everybody together to do something.
Now you know why Tim's the most professional one.
No, I like to add a little humor to things. I mean, I think that humor helps everything in life, so why not? Everyone takes the business card so seriously, so let's put something funny on there.
Okay. So, August of 2012, you're here. The studio on South Main Street is pretty much empty. Can you take me quickly where you've come from since then? You now have a staff of 5.
Yeah.
But what about equipment? What about
so
everything else?
When we were here and the studios were empty, even when we had our grand opening in January of 2013, we didn't have our programming equipment here. Our programming equipment, which allows us to get our programming onto the air, that equipment includes our video server, the Comcast and Verizon video feed drops. Those were all still at the high school.
In a closet.
That would get so hot that it would actually automatically shut off the video server that had it wouldn't be able to work over like 86 degrees. And so it was a constant challenge for me and Daniel right from the get-go. Then around April of 2013, we got the new fiber optic lines were dropped here at our studios. So then we were able to have our home base all set up. We have our edit suites here, which we started out at our grand opening with just 3 computers for editing.
I think you're up to 9 now.
Now we have 9. 3 of those member computers that members can come in and edit on are brand new Mac Pro computers, state of the art.
Those are those little black towers.
Yeah,
Looks
stacked
like
to the gills, and now those are just pushing us forward into the future now because you can edit so quickly, compress video
And
so quickly.
we're editing on was it Studio Pro X?
Final Cut X.
Final Cut X.
Final Cut Pro X, which is a professional piece of software that Hollywood uses, TV networks, and basically what we wanted to do is create an environment where residents who want to make their own shows come in and learn on professional grade equipment and professional software, because I think a lot of other access stations might kind of not so much phone it in, but we're not trying to give someone a $300 camcorder and iMovie to make their show. We want people to, if they're flipping through the stations, stop on our station and see that it's a professionally produced program.
And you're actually broadcasting on 4 channels, so you have 2 on Comcast and 2 on Verizon
Right,
Fios.
and we have the live stream as well. So if you go to milfordtv.net, on the homepage, both of our channels, Milford TV and Milford TV Educational, will pop right up, and you can watch the live stream anytime. There's also an app associated with that, so you can find that on live stream. And yeah, we're just trying to push the limits as much as we can. Try to give people the best sports productions we can, the best news, the best local event coverage.
Now, speaking of sports, you have this, what do you call it, studio to box roadie?
Yeah, the roadie, which has significantly increased our production time and quality. This past football season, it was huge. I know Tim loves it because we can get the games out a little bit quicker. And yes, sports is a big part. If you want to talk to Tim about that.
So what does roadie let you do? I mean, Rob has told me it's the equivalent of having one of those broadcast trucks like you see parked in the parking lot of the Patriots games.
Well, I think the best, there are a couple of ways that the roadie has really been able to boost what we've been able to do here. Like Rob said, we're getting the games out in a fraction of the time that we were. In the past, we were bringing separate cameras into an editing project, having to edit them together separately. Now all of those cameras are being switched live during the game as that's going on, and also having that technology is allowing us to bring more of our members and more of our volunteers in and giving them experience in different sort of environments. This past year we had a couple of our interns and volunteers, Joey Marcello and Malcolm Zale, who worked the cameras for almost every single game. Malcolm also happens to be behind one of the cameras here for this show today, and so it's great experience.
You've actually had them on the field.
They were right there. Malcolm was on the sideline for every game. If you were at one of the football games this year and you saw someone frantically running with a camera back and forth on the sideline, that was Malcolm, but he was getting incredible shots for us, and it allowed us to really bring everyone in the community closer to the game than we've ever been able to before.
That sounds great. And actually, you mentioned Joey. Joey shot a movie.
Yeah, that's one of the other benefits. We have a ton of high school and college volunteers or interns that come through the doors, and Joey is a Hopedale High student. He's one of our interns right now, and he had his heart set on finishing this movie that he wrote a beautiful script for. And for someone his age, I think he wrote the script when he was a freshman or sophomore, and last summer he somehow got all of his friends together, organized, and they finished a full-length independent movie, and it was pretty exciting. And he had a huge blue carpet, because his movie is called Blue Carpet event at Central Tavern premiering the movie. Hundreds of people came out, and again, just helped build the community atmosphere around here, and we were really proud of him. But for someone his age to do that and to be able to work with professional equipment was really impressive, and was kind of inspiring to all of us. And
Okay.
yeah,
That's one of the things I found when I started here was just there's a lot of young creative energy around here, and it's really great because I met Rob in Marlboro about 10 years ago. I was volunteering at the public access station. He was working there. And, it's a lot of the traditional public access you find in a lot of places, but this station, there's really something special going on here because, young people want to get involved, the town cares, the staff cares, everyone just cares. And it's really great because, you feel like you're working for something, you're not just going through the motions. Yeah. And it's really been a pleasure working here for the last couple of months.
And I was going to say, you guys probably broadcast more of the government. I mean, technically this falls under the category of PEG, or public education government. I think that's what it says in the bill, PEG access or something.
yeah, public educational government. Yeah.
But the school committee meetings are broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Board of Selectmen, Planning Board, Finance Committee,
Zoning board.
Zoning Board. I think those are the ones that you do on a routine
Yeah.
basis.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then there's all the things you redo, Claflin Hill Symphony performances,
Yeah.
all the sports games.
Mm-hmm.
What-
Santa Parade.
Santa Parade.
The Santa Parade.
Greater Milford Community Chorus, and the Milford Performing Arts Center. And I mean, we have a lot of great partnerships in town. A lot of people who have kind of strapped on and saw the value of informing us when stuff is going on, which I think that's my biggest thing is when people communicate with us in Milford to see the value of informing other people of what's going on and helping them even get more people involved in what they're doing too.
Right, I've seen you at senior center events, Chamber of Commerce luncheons.
The seniors love me, and I love them back. And
They sing to him.
They sing to me a lot, and
Yeah.
I mean, it makes my day, and it kind of enhances the experience when I bring interns and volunteers along with me.
Well, I know when I cover all the governmental meetings, you're that little hand with the microphone that we see handing it to people in the audience
It's a
when they
regular
speak.
size hand. You have to say little.
I know we're joking.
I know what I am.
The,
I know what I'm not. That's the other thing too, is having people appreciate, even when it comes to a subcommittee, the quality of video and titles to know what's going on during a town meeting, what article is being presented, but also being able to hear. I think that's a huge important factor because otherwise it's just talking faces on TV. And
Yeah, we spent a large amount of money improving the quality of the audiovisual situation over at Town Hall, the meeting room, or room 3.
well, I know on the occasions when people do put up PowerPoints on the wall, you're synced to that computer, so you're getting it directly,
Yep. And
which improves the quality over what we actually see on the wall
Right.
in the audience.
And all of our staff-produced programs, we record everything in full HD. Now we have to downconvert when we put that on the air.
Yeah,
because we don't have HD channels yet. Which may come soon. But people can always enjoy all of our staff-produced programming in full HD on our YouTube channel, My Milford TV.
And how many shows are up on that channel right now?
Ooh.
About
Well, I know
1,000?
we just hit 100,000 views, total views for the whole channel on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff up
But
there.
videos, I think.
In 3 years, I think you've
yeah.
put up close
I
to
think-
1,000,
Yeah, I think we're getting close to 1,000 total videos.
just produced by Milford TV.
Right, just
Not
produced
counting
by
the
us.
17 or 15 shows.
Right,
so-
those are separate.
Right.
Yeah.
And actually, a lot of our members have their own YouTube page, so that even extends there as well.
Right.
But yeah, we I think we upload things like every day.
It's
Seems
and
like-
most of the time we do shoot for quantity. Getting out there as many events as we can. But every now and then we're going to take our time on the events that matter. Tim does a great job with a lot of the. We just shot the MHS Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Tim shot and edited that. Took his time, made some nice graphics, and people really loved that. We'll take our time with things like the local music awards. And really, the Claflin Hill Symphony Orchestra shows, we put a lot of editing work into those. And we really want to give people that professional look.
I think it's there. I mean, I remember when we came up with the idea for this show, I knew what I wanted to do in the beginning, didn't know how to do it, and I think Liz and Daniel put up with me for a while, making it work.
Put up with, I think, is the wrong term, but I get your drift.
No, but you actually,
Yeah, you did it.
You learned very quickly.
Yeah.
And video is hard. One thing that was different for a lot of people that had become members here that might have worked at or had been involved with other access stations in the past in the area is that some other access stations are going to say, oh, you can do your own show. Here, sit down. We're going to hit record for you. We're going to adjust the lights. We don't want that to happen here.
No,
we want you to get the full experience and learn. And yes, you'll have to put some work into it. But at the end of the day, it's your content. You get to say what you want to say. Our hands are, the staff isn't touching that show. So if something
No, that's the
is that,
disclaimer. That's the disclaimer at the beginning of the
Right.
show that basically says
exactly.
I think what we found is
it's not
actually
Milford TV.
to the benefit of that. I think if you're having another station do all the work for you, not only do you not learn how to do it, but when we've been educating people how to do it and they've been creating their own content, they get really excited about that. We've seen a lot of people bring their own family, friends in here and really get involved that way, and then they learn as well. So it kind of becomes a family and community thing, produced thing, which I think is better, in my opinion.
I mean, one of the things I like is the interns you've had here in the years you've been up that I've seen. I think I can count, 3 or 4 or 5 people who are now in college studying broadcasting
Sure.
Yeah.
or video.
It really
And
does.
some of those students weren't even sure if they wanted
Right.
to go to college, and we're not taking credit for what they've done, but
No,
I feel like we've helped them kind of see the path that they want to take for their future and kind of guided them a little bit. So even if we've even helped them out a little bit, it's a nice feeling.
Well, I think from what I've heard, they've got a leg up because they actually were directing
Yeah.
and producing shows here. People like, R.J. Sheedy, who has his show here, Morgan Ducarel, who was our director for the first 18 months before she went to school. You were going to...
Oh, I just say it's a great foundation for them to have going to school. I mean, even me, when I was going to school, I started volunteering in Marlboro, and even just learning the basics, you just have a leg up when you go into school with everyone else learning how to do this stuff. And you learn what you like, what you don't like. Sometimes you get into school, you go in, you're not sure, do I want to do editing? Do I want to do directing? Do I want to do these things? And you get a little bit of everything here. You get to see what you'd like to do, and it's just fantastic. I think more people should realize that they have this valuable asset in their town, as a public access station that they can go and learn for free. It's your or we have a $15 membership, but it's worth it because this is equipment that you would find in any major studio, any major area. This is just fantastic for these kids to have this, or just the people of the town.
Building off from that, I was actually going to say, I did a lot of public access when I was in high school. I built a great foundation for college. I did 2 internships at Channel 5 and at Channel 4. I started working with the affiliates, and I actually left that to come back to public access. I feel you can do more of what you want to do and wear more hats in public access. And so a lot of people who come and volunteer ask us, oh, this is what I want to do. I want to be, the next sports anchor or whatnot at a network station. I'm like, you might be surprised. I'm going to encourage that they find that and discover that on their own, but you might be surprised that you might end up back in public access again after having that experience.
Yeah. Rob, there is a tie-in, though, to Milford High School's, I can't remember the teacher's name, but
Jeremy Folster.
Jeremy
He's one of our
Foster
board of directors as well.
teaches the video programs at courses at Milford High. But there's a tie-in, direct tie-in with what, the money or the funding?
Right. So so what's great about Milford TV is that our board of directors early on set up a great new contract with Comcast and Verizon that allowed us. We receive operating funds every quarter from both Comcast and Verizon. And with that money in the agreement, we give another portion of that back to the school department of Milford. So with that money, the school has been able to upgrade different audiovisual aspects of different schools. I know the high school has received a lot of upgrades in the theater and the TRC room where we do the school committee meetings, and Jeremy has been able to buy some equipment for his classes as well. So we're giving back monetarily as well. So that's always nice. And Jeremy's helped me to work on that TRC room to get that, so we can, the school committee, when we first started recording those, we had to bring in our own cameras, a switcher. Now everything's integrated in that room, robotic cameras, audio, new projectors, stuff like that. So, and it's all about, it may seem small, but one of these days, a resident who may not watch the channel is going to be looking for that video of that important meeting that they, have something invested in, and they want to be able to watch that meeting and not have to worry about the quality of the video, the quality of the audio. And I challenge anyone in Milford to, especially the Verizon, if they can see surrounding towns programming, look around, go visit other public access stations. Yes, we've been fortunate enough to have this awesome new contract that allows us to have more money. But I think the time that we spend on some of our productions, you can tell that we do this with care, and it shows. Go ahead, look at other public access and compare, and I think you'll see that we're going above and beyond in most respects.
What's coming up in the future for you guys?
Tim?
Anyone want to answer that one?
I mean, in terms of our immediate future, we're continuing on with our community news. Like we said, we're coming up on 100 editions of our news. It comes on every week, and we're continuing to just get more and more out there in the community, covering different events, covering sports.
What sports do you cover right now?
Well, right now we're about a week away from picking up our winter sports coverage, so that will be boys and girls basketball, it will be hockey, we'll get some wrestling coverage, we're going to try to do some highlight footage of some of the other sports, swimming, indoor track, and so that'll take us through the winter. And then, of course, once spring rolls around, and hopefully it won't take as long as it did last year, but we'll get outside for baseball and softball, and then, of course, we'll have Legion coverage in the summer. So really our sports calendar is pretty much year-round.
It's very heavy. I mean, I can't think of anything you don't cover.
Yeah, I can't think of anything right now. Yeah. But if there are any other organizations in town, specifically nonprofit or community-driven, and you want us to help out, let us know.
How about in terms of equipment? What do you envision over the next couple of years?
Actually, well, Malcolm's excited about this, but we're looking at some really serious steady cams.
Yeah.
So something that's, you wear on your body, has a big arm and steadies the camera so that Malcolm can run like a maniac up and down the football field during football season. But we'll be able to use that elsewhere as well. We're also going to continue to talk with Comcast and Verizon about high definition cable casting capabilities, because it's the Comcast and Verizon and cable subscribers of the like, they have a responsibility to take care of public access, but they do the bare minimum. So this is something that we're really going to have to work on and push them to give us those HD channels. So hopefully we won't have to spend too much money, but that's something we're going to allocate some money to if we have to fund that, because that's something, there's very few access stations that have live streaming going on right now, and that's one thing that we've already implemented in our short time here. So we're going to continue to push the technical limits of what we can do as much as possible.
That sounds great. Anybody have anything to add? Daniel?
I would just say if there's any community out there or any organization out there, like Rob was saying, nonprofit or whatever, that hasn't reached out to us, I would highly encourage them to do that. The more we know, the more we can help and get involved, and that's our purpose. So, and thank you to all our volunteers and interns, because we couldn't do it without them.
No, we couldn't.
That one I agree with. Tim?
No, I'm going to just continue where Daniel left off. I think that there are some community members, there are some organizations out there that they maybe don't know what to expect getting involved here, and I think that once you come in the door, or once you invite us out to do a news piece or something like that, everyone quickly realizes how easy the process is. We like to make things as quick and painless for people as possible, and I think that once you start to get involved with us, you're going to realize that it's a great resource, and you're going to want to continue to come back again. So we're really excited at how much we've been able to reach out to the community to this point, but we always want to do more. We want to get to every single event out there that we possibly can. We want to touch on issues that are important to people in Milford, so we encourage people to give us a call, visit the studio. If you have something for the news, shameless plug, send an email to news@milfordtv.net, and we want to be there.
And Matt, how about you?
I mean, it's been great. There's a real warmth when you come into this place, because people really want people.
I turned on the heat.
Oh, is that why I'm sweating? All right. But there's
You're
just
under $5.
really this level of people wanting to. They come in here and they meet the people, and they want to create, and they want to learn, and they want to do stuff. And you don't feel that everywhere you go, And there's real warmness, and as you said when we started this out, a family feel this place, and I'm really proud to just recently joined it, and Rob has assembled a great team here, and it's been a wonderful experience so far. So more to come.
Okay, and we're out of time. Thank you all, and we'll check back with you guys. And as I said, everybody, we'll check back with you guys in a couple of years and see what's changed at the station.
All right. Hopefully we're all here.
Thanks for being here.